currently. So I've got
Hello and welcome to Forge TV's coverage of the Student Union officer elections. I'm Benji Holland.
And I'm Ewan James. We'll be your hosts for tonight. Before we start tonight's coverage of the Student Union results, we at Forge TV would like to issue an apology for certain parts of our coverage of the debates that aired earlier this week, which received rightful criticism.
Due to poor planning in regards to time and punditry, which was rushed and on the spot due to dropouts, we did not cover certain circumstances and policies as much as we had liked. We do agree with this criticism, and although there is no intent of discrimination in our coverage, these mistakes were not done out of malice in any way.
Working with the officers elected tonight from a pool of amazing candidates who have worked tirelessly to represent their peers' views, we hope to ensure that this is never repeated again and that we can learn from our mistakes. We will work closely with these elected SU officers to ensure that we consistently provide unbiased, fair, and inclusive content to all viewers, including in next year's election and all future content.
Tonight, we've decided to omit punditry from our running schedule, unlike previous years, to instead highlight the outstanding work, policies, manifestos of candidates who are going to be leading our SU forward into next year and beyond.
Once again, we offer our sincerest apologies for our errors, and we hope tonight reflects what we at Forge TV stand for. We hope you enjoy the rest of your night as well as we all celebrate all of the hard work that has been achieved.
Right, so to start the night off, we're going to be looking back at the campaign trail for all the candidates who are going to become our future SU officers.
That's right, Benji. It may not be the same as handing out flyers while standing outside the IC or picketing around the SU building, but the candidates still have managed to get their manifestos out and voices heard virtually.
Run the VT.
Hello, my name is Michael Johnson. This is Forge TV. You're watching SU election coverage. It's probably classic that Zoom debates. There's always going to be a few things that are going to go wrong.
Oh, someone's disappeared.
Sorry, I don't know where the hand is, so I'll just use my actual hand.
International
Guys,
culture.
Wi-Fi down.
Can I just say something? Oh,
yeah,
sorry, do you have a
okay,
question?
good.
I was just going to say,
Was that okay?
Michael, I think your mic's not. Oh, right,
Yeah, sorry about that. Does anyone want to start? I'm going to have to pick on someone, sorry. For here, share, accreditation. It's a long word, I can't say that.
I think student, it feels like such a cliche opening. I feel like students should vote for me.
Great answer. Yeah, I was talking about that.
Nice. That's nice.
Without bashing the current system and hard work of the officers and students that are actually working really, really hard already.
It's been a wild goose chase trying to figure out what's going on.
The way in which the university works, it can be quite bureaucratic, and sometimes I just don't think it's moving fast enough.
That there is no price we can put on the well-being of our students. It is the most important thing we can possibly do.
I think that this is absolutely vital that we continue to reform the University Counselling Service.
Because it's not just about listening to the voices and trying to amplify them, it's about actually putting that representation at the top of our pyramid.
These have been your presidential candidates. Back to the studio.
It's been a year like no other for all of us.
I mean, just look at us. We're stuck in Benji's room.
Nonetheless, our SU has found a way to adapt. One thing that remains the same is our involvement in the NUS, but that will be the case by the end. Will that be the case by the end of the night? My bad. One thing that will definitely change is our elected student trustees.
Over to you, Diana, to announce the results of the SU by-election, referendum, and student trustees.
Hello everybody, I'm Dana Ryer and I'm here to let you know the results for the by-election, referendum and your new student trustees. I'm going to start with the referendum for the National Union of Students. For those who don't know, the National Union of Students is a campaigning organization that ensures student unions have protection, are safe and are strong and supported. A successful campaign that they've made actually gathered £20 million for student hardship during the COVID-19 pandemic. And now for the answer for the referendum, is Sheffield SU going to be affiliated to the National Union of Students in the future? The answer is yes, the SU is going to continue being affiliated to the National Union of Students for another year. And now for the student trustees of this year, we have 2 student trustees who have a lot of responsibility on their hands. Their jobs aren't easy. They handle financial side of the SU, even security side. They also handle legal requirements in what concerns employability in the Sheffield Students Union. And their roles vary depending on what they're doing. But their roles are vital to the essence of the SU, as the SU is actually run by trustee boards. And now this year's trustee students are Amber Lench and Clara Polacco. Congratulations to you both. And now we also had a referendum this year. A referendum where we had to agree or disagree with proposed changes to the Sheffield Students Union constitution. And those changes include changes to the structure of the officer team this year, whether that means paying the part-time officers this year. And part-time officers include the women officer, the disabled students officer, the mature students officer, and the list goes on. But in total, there will be 7 students, full-time officers, and 6 part-time officers in the SU. And the answer to this referendum and to these changes to this review of students and officer teams is yes, part-time students are going to be paid on from now on, and the structure is going to be changed. Officially, I can say that this review has been approved. Thank you.
Before we hear the results of who's been elected as our nominees, let's have a look at the different roles that our candidates were up for.
After the SU referendum in January, a couple of our officer roles were expanded or combined to better reflect our student body. This year's roles are Liberation Officer,
Welfare and Sustainability Officer,
International and Community Officer,
Activities and Development Officer,
Sport and Wellbeing Officer,
Education Officer,
and last but not least, SU President.
I think we got them all there. First off, we have our Liberation Officer. This is one of the roles that has changed the most after our referendum, with a role replacing the Women's Officer.
You voted to have an officer that reflects the views and interests of liberations groups who face systematic barriers in university. These groups include BAME, disabled students, LGBTQ+ students, women, and mature students.
Let's now head over to our current Women's Officer, Lily Grimshaw, to hear who our new Liberation Officer is.
It's been a really challenging and undeniably difficult year to be a sabbatical officer, and an even harder year to run for one of these positions. So I want to say a massive congratulations for all the candidates for doing such a good job with the online campaigning. I feel quite emotional about the role of the Women's Officer changing to Liberation Officer, but I know it's going to mean that we can better support our students and work closely with the part-time Liberation Officers. If I had one piece of advice for the incoming Liberation Officer, it would definitely be to have confidence in yourself when negotiating with the university and to not take no for an answer. Your next Liberation Officer is Shona Taluk.
Yeah, I can't hear anything on TV, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, at least I want to have a proper announcement.
Are they saying there's no sound?
Is there no sound on the TV at all? Because we can't hear.
Oh,
Are we back now? Okay. Apologies, Shona, but we've now hopefully sorted the sound out. So congratulations once again, Shona, for being elected in. So your floor is now yours for your first speech as Liberation Officer.
Well, I didn't really plan one because I didn't think I was going to get it. I want to have a proper announcement.
Are they saying there's no sound?
Sorry, I don't know if I'm on time or not. Our TV's messing up. But I'm so excited. I have waited for years to see somebody like me in these positions, someone who represents marginalised groups, and we have faced so many barriers, and I just cannot believe. Can we? I just pause that. Sorry, the TV's confusing me. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just super happy. I'm just really happy that people made this happen, and I am going to do an amazing job. I'm going to do it. It's going to be great. Thanks, guys.
No problem. If you don't mind, could we ask a few questions?
Oh, ask away.
So now that you've voted in, you've already touched on your feelings already, but just how does it feel to be elected as the first ever Liberations Officer?
It's massive. It's massive. And I cannot think of to have a queer BME disabled woman student as the first Liberation Officer in the position to represent these students. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you.
So what will be your first change you hope to make now that you've been elected into office?
Oh my goodness. Well, I need a night out. And after that, I just cannot wait to get to know all the representative committees better. I'm so glad. I hope that they see me as someone that they can relate to and talk to without feeling like it's too much labour, because I do have that understanding of what they're going through. And I just can't wait to just push for an inclusive, anti-racist, amazing university for students this year.
Would you say your lived experiences were a major inspiration behind you running for this role then?
Absolutely. It was the main inspiration. Since I found the women's officer role, I've been looking at it and saying that is something I want to do, because I saw that it represents all these other roles too. And when it made the change, I was like, I've got to go for it. I've got to go for it this year. I'm going to have to take a year out of my studies, but I don't care, because I need to have, if I don't get it this year, I need to run for it again next year, because I set my sights on it so much, because I just know it's something that I need to do. I need to have the chance to do it, and I'm thrilled. Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled.
So I've had a look at the officer campaign. I've got to ask the big question. Will we be hearing more of your amazing voice and seeing new TikToks whilst you're in office?
Oh my God. I've loved making TikToks. I feel like I'm TikTok famous with my 6 followers, on my Liberation account. And singing. I love singing, and I will be doing it as often as I can in this year in office. If you want to come along, knock on my door, have a serenade, chill you out, I'll be there.
So in previous years, we've seen obviously a vast amount of campaigning with picketing, leafleting, loads of other methods, but this year it's mostly been virtual. So just how much of a challenge has that been for you personally?
You know what? For me personally, as a disabled student, I suffer with chronic pain. I use a wheelchair a lot of the time. In Sheffield, the most hilly city in the world, it can sometimes be really difficult. And getting out and about and campaigning was something that I'd actually worried about. And I think that it being online this year has really leveled the playing field for people like me who have access issues, who have mobility issues and things like that. And I might not have been able to get my word out so much if I had to be there in person. On the days that I've been struggling with pain, I've been able to get my hot water bottle and push through from my bed, which has been great. And I really hope that in future years that students who do have these access issues in the same way that I do can still feel like they've got the same opportunities. And it's something I'm definitely going to push for when it comes to elections next year, because I don't want anyone to feel like they're disadvantaged.
Yeah, so one of your key policies was on accessibility. Take your time. It's fine. Take your time if you have to. One of your key policies was on accessibility and adjustments. So just how key with your own experiences, will your own experiences be in ensuring this policy is a success for all other students?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I've worked really closely with the Disability and Dyslexia Service. I think I said in my debate, if it wasn't for the help I've had from them and the help that I've seeked out myself, I don't think I would still be at university. I think I would have had to drop out, and I'm not going to move forwards watching students have to leave university for reasons that are completely there are ways to get around it if you just seek out the right support. I actually have forgotten the wording of the question that you asked, because this is a lot, but helping students with access needs and knowing that we can access lessons online now. COVID's shown us that we can do that, and carrying on these things so that everyone does have this option if they can't get to in-person classes. Like, it's so important.
Yeah, so I know this seems like a long time away, but
I'm gonna move to a table, sorry.
Yeah, in a year's time, I know this feels like a long time away, but at the end of your time in office, what will you be hoping you will be remembered for?
I think in itself, I want to be remembered as being the first liberation officer, which that's already done. Being someone from a lot of minority marginalised groups who pushed through, who went for this position despite the barriers and made it. And I want other people to see me, because I've searched for that person to look up to and to go, they did it, I can do it too. I just want to be that. And I want people from groups that I'm in and others to get to the end of the year and go, you know what, she knew what she was talking about, and she's made some changes that have really impacted our experience.
And finally, before we let you go and enjoy, what would you like to say to all the people who voted you in as the first Liberations Officer?
You guys, thank you. Just thank you so much. Can't wait to call my parents. I'm just so glad that you believed in me and that you trusted me enough to do this. It means the world. It really does mean the world. Thank you so much.
And just because of the audio issues, I'll say it just for this. Shona Tulloch, you are now the new Liberations Officer. So congratulations and thank you for joining us.
That is no problem. I'll join you 10 times over if I get to feel this excited.
Thank you very much.
Are we good?
Yeah, see you later. Thank you.
Do I leave now?
Yeah, cheers.
Bye.
We're 1 down and 6 to go, I think. So who said we can't run elections from home?
Don't jinx this now, Benji. I've already had some audio issues.
Anyway, now we're looking ahead to the Welfare and Sustainability Officer.
With the added role of sustainability, the new officer will be in charge of representing all student views on the SU's ethical, environmental and sustainability work.
It's been a hotly contested role, this, so I can't wait to see who's won. Take it away, Holly and Jordan.
Hi everyone, it's that time of the year again, where students have decided their next officer team. I remember like it was just yesterday that I was campaigning and running around campus, chasing for votes, but wow, this year has been different. I cannot begin to imagine the stress and difficulties that every single candidate has gone through, and for that, I must say, a massive well done to every single one of you. For showing resilience, perseverance, and passion to your campaigns. It truly shows why you all deserve to be our next student voice and officer team. You should all be immensely proud of yourselves, whatever the outcome, and I commend you all for the efforts you have put in to make this election period one to remember. If tonight is not your night, then please keep your head held high. as you have done magnificently. Use the same passion and experience and bring it all back next year. If this is your final year here, then I will say to you something that my late gran always told me. Whatever is in front of you will never go past you. This year has been some journey, and as your sustainability lead and subsequently the last ever development officer, I can safely say it's not been easy. COVID-19 halted many amazing sustainability projects I wanted to achieve, and where investment was needed, I was told no. But when there are challenges and barriers before you, there is always hope. COVID-19 has not been a barrier for ourselves to do some incredible things, such as implementing the university sustainability strategy, having an app that rewards you for active and sustainable travel, and of advocating for curricular change of education for sustainable development. The next year will be vital for all of our futures. We have an opportunity to continue to review and reinterpret our operations at the SU and the university. Your next Welfare and Sustainability Officer will have an enormous task to ensure that both social and environmental sustainability issues are addressed to build our SU and university back better. I have confidence that our candidates this year will do just that. Whoever is elected, I wish you all the best in this new role, and you'll have me to call on for anything you will need in securing a brighter future for our campus. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I really hope that you're all enjoying your evening. Results night is such an exciting night, even more so this year, because many of the positions that candidates will be elected into tonight are brand new and have never been taken up before. We've never had a Welfare and Sustainability Officer before, and having been one of the people to propose the role, I'm really excited to see the first Welfare and Sustainability Officer be elected. I really hope that we can all enjoy tonight and celebrate all that we've achieved regardless of the results. I want to say a massive well done to all of you this year for leading such strong campaigns online. I've loved seeing your campaigns take over my newsfeed and the online community and being invited to like all your pages every day, even though I wasn't allowed to accept the invitations. It's taken a lot to stop myself from reacting to your posts and following your pages, but somehow I managed. I think that you should all be really proud of yourselves for leading such fantastic campaigns under these circumstances, which have been so different to any other year. I also want to say a big well done to all the candidates this year for having such interesting and engaging debates. I really enjoyed watching them, particularly the welfare and sustainability debate. You all have such great ideas, and I'm really excited to see what the very first Welfare and Sustainability Officer does with their year in office. I've loved being your welfare officer, and I really hope that you will enjoy being the Welfare and Sustainability Officer too. Best of luck to all candidates.
And your next Welfare and Sustainability Officer is Anesu Matanda Mbingo. Well done, Ness.
Obviously, this role was adapted to include sustainability.
With them, but obviously if they're focusing
So,
on this, they're not focusing
was
on
that part of your inspiration for running for the position?
Sorry, would you mind repeating that?
Yeah, of course.
The candidate zoom on and...
No worries. So obviously the role was adapted recently to include sustainability. So what was that part of your inspiration for running for the position in the first place?
Yeah, I think I was actually, so I'm part of sustainability committee, and that was my first sort of sight into how the SU runs and the ways of working. And I absolutely just fell in love with it. I think everyone who works in the SU is so passionate. So to be able to pair sustainability with welfare is, I think, fits me pretty well. I'm quite passionate about the environment and our planet. And additionally, I want to support students as a student myself. So this new role sort of intersects directly with causes I care about.
Sounds perfect for you. You're the perfect person for it. So the race for the position of welfare and sustainability officer was really, really tough. And it was actually one of the tightest results in the whole election. How has the pressure of other candidates pushed you forward?
I think it sort of inspired me. I genuinely think I would have been happy with any of the other candidates getting this role. And I really am glad that I sort of got it, but I do think I'm going to be looking at all the other candidates' priorities and manifestos and pulling things from it, because everything does deserve to be addressed. I think everything people mentioned are such important causes, and everyone who ran for welfare and sustainability is genuinely passionate about the work they're doing. So I do hope to carry forward some of the things that they mentioned, and I honestly just inspired by what everyone's done.
And I was recently looking at your Instagram page, and it really stood out for bright colors, logos and designs, but it's not quite as the same as sort of getting up there and speaking to people, is it?
No, I mention this a lot, and I am quite a sociable person, and I do think of myself as quite friendly, but I think I call myself an extroverted introvert. And if this election had been in person and not online, I do think I would have struggled a lot. Speaking in the concourse and talking to people is something that me and I think a lot of other people wouldn't perhaps be comfortable with. And I think I was able to sort of excel in advance. So even in such a challenging year where things haven't gone quite right, I do think I sort of took the opportunity and saw my gap. And I think I sort of ran with it almost. And I sort of knew what my strengths were. And I'm really passionate about everything I'd done. But yeah, this campaign being online, although it was a challenge, I do think it benefited me, and I'm so glad it was, because I think had it been in person, it would have been a whole different race.
That is amazing. And for anyone who hasn't seen Ness's campaign, I highly recommend it for the Just Eat spoof. If you haven't seen it, it is brilliant. You've had a lot of endorsements from so many people. How privileged do you feel to have the backing of these groups, and what would you like to say for them, to them, for you?
I just want to say thank you. A lot of the endorsements I got were from people I firsthand have worked with, whether that be Amnesty Society, Sustainability Committee, and just people who know me firsthand and sort of just genuinely know me. I think that's one of the hardest things with doing an online campaign, is getting across my true personality and getting across my drive and my passion and just showing people like who I truly am. So these endorsements were sort of a way to give people a little peek into who Nessie is and who Ness is. So just a huge thank you for everyone who's given up their time, even if it was 5 minutes. 5 minutes of your day is a lot. And so a huge thank you for the support and encouragement, because I couldn't have done it without them.
And you spoke a lot about creating like a larger influence of sustainability on courses in particular. How important is this going to be when you take office in a couple of months' time now?
So I think it's amazing that the university's created a sustainability strategy, and part of that is education for sustainable development. They've created a 5-year plan and they hope to do it. And the whole strategy was created from student drive and student voice. And I think we need to take this on if we're going to make effective change. I think it's important to remember that as the SU, we are separate from the university. And when the university is moving too slowly, we need to hold them to account. And in terms of education for sustainable development, I think we can sort of push them to move a bit faster. I've already been in those rooms and the work that's being done is amazing. I think all staff are on board. Everyone I've interacted with, there's no one opposing this work, but I think the difference is just getting it to move in a timely fashion. And that's what I hope to achieve.
And I've got a few more questions for you. So like one of your other policies is supporting alumni post-COVID. We've all been so affected by COVID, and how essential is it that you succeed in this particular area?
I think when coming up with my manifesto, me, myself, I'm in my last year, I'm about to graduate. I have friends who graduated last year. And yeah, graduation is always a hard thing, but no one has graduated into the job market we're about to. That comes with mental health barriers. It comes with just the unknown of what's going to be in the future. And I feel as though once you leave the Sheffield University community, you should not be forgotten. You are still part of that community. And as SU Officer for Welfare and Sustainability, I hope to support you throughout your journey. I do think there's already amazing services provided by the Career Service, provided sort of resources available, but I don't think they're advertised enough. I don't think they're used enough. And I think there is areas in which you could provide specific catering to these sort of facilities that are available, such as one-to-one mentor schemes, or things such as just work-to-life balance, something that isn't always considered, how to sort of manage your time. Like if you're applying for thousands and thousands of applications, how not to get too bogged down with your 10th rejection, and just things like that to help support graduates. So yeah, it'll remain a priority on my list.
Perfect. And just before we leave you, so you can go and celebrate, I just want to give you the opportunity to say a few words to the people that voted you in.
I think all I want to say is thank you so much. And like, I will not forget you. Throughout my year sort of running, I will be sure to sort of keep in mind the promises I have made to you, because I am so passionate about them. And I'm glad to see that you're passionate about them too. Otherwise you wouldn't have voted me in. And sort of that support and that constant reminder that I wouldn't be here without you, and wanting to hear from you as well. I know sort of I did some Instagram lives and there were things that I've missed. I'm not perfect, but I want to hear that. And I'm so ready and open to include things and learn from you and grow and get an SU that we truly want to see. And yeah, just a huge thank you.
So congratulations, Ness, and thanks for joining us. So now you can go off and celebrate. So,
Perfect, thank you so much.
Welfare and Sustainability Officer. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. This is the box, isn't it? Yeah.
Thank you and congratulations, Ness. I suppose there can be some benefits about filming from home, albeit we've not seen them yet.
Oh yeah, like what?
People can't fully see how much shorter you are compared to me.
All right, there's no need for that, mate.
Next up, we want to into our International and Communities Officer. There are some great candidates running to be the voice of international students and help they transition into Sheffield as smooth as possible.
Here's Yuri to tell us more and announce this year's successful candidate.
Hi everybody, I'm Yuri, the International Students Officer currently, and I'm here to introduce you to the new International Community Officer just soon. But before we go there, I'd just like us to have a bit of a reflection about this year and what it meant to the international community. This was definitely a very hard year for everybody. It was a year where so many people struggled, and I think in special internationals did have a tough time. I think part of what is really beautiful about studying abroad is being in touch with another culture, is making friends from all over the world, is being physically somewhere where you can experience something different. Like, for example, this red brick houses just here behind me. It's so special to me to be somewhere and see these houses, because it's something that's completely different from the place where I'm from. And we got to recognize that the magic of studying abroad this year was severely damaged. It wasn't the same as other years. It was a very tough year for the international community. We had to put up with so many different things, having to study online in different time zones, for example, not having security of when we could come to the UK or when we could go back home. Many people couldn't visit their families as often as they would usually do. You know, many people couldn't even arrive in the UK. So it was a tough year in so many different ways. So I think the moments of crisis like this, they really show the the unfairness that exists in the systems. I think that the British higher education system actually really depends on international students, and in many times it doesn't treat us the same way. We pay so much more, and still we struggle to find the support and the level of services that the home students do. This is something that I think is accentuated in the COVID crisis or in any other moments of crisis. What is true as well is that moments of moments of crisis bring opportunity. They actually bring opportunity to bring change, to bring good change, to see what is wrong and act on that. And this is something true. I can see all around in the university, in RSU, and in the student community a desire to bring good change, a desire to make things better, to make the next year, or as soon as things are normal again, worth it. You know, all this time that we've been holding yourself back, you know, like that we've been kept from doing what we want to do, from having the opportunities that we want to do. I can see this energy coming, you know, and people wanting to make the best of their next year. And I do think that the international candidates this year and all the other candidates really got this energy going. I could really see that in their campaigns. I think it was such a beautiful campaign. All of the candidates, it was so respectful. This is something that is usually the norm with international candidates. The international officer candidates, they always seem to be so respectful to each other. It's always so friendly, you know. And the same, even though the campaign this year was quite different, it was the same spirit. And that's really special. So I would like to say a massive well done to all the candidates. You guys did so well. You talked about some really important things, you know, and I can see in all of you this spirit of bringing things to be better, you know, for the next year. Now it's time to tell who is the winner. But I'd like just to reassure to all of you that I think that you all did so well, and that as long as you feel that you did your best, you know, and as long as you feel that this in the end is for the students, you know, it's not for yourself, I hope that you feel good, whatever it is the result right now. But yeah, so well done to everybody, and I hope that you have a great day. So let's know who the winner is now. And the winner for the first International and Community Officer of Sheffield Students Union is Taylor. Congratulations.
So congratulations to Taylor. She's a MA journalism student, and she beat Sky, Leo, Bradley, and Eileen to get the position of International Communities Officer. She won in the 5th round of voting by hitting the 1,278 threshold. She beat Brad in 2nd place, who got 594 votes less. Her policies center around a visa-friendly career fair. She wants to expand payment plan options. She's looking to create a British student mentors for international students. She hopes to create a cross-culture celebration committee, as well as creating a homelessness survival guide. So Taylor, are you there? Oh, anticipation, I can't wait. Taylor. Can't hear you.
I'm really sorry, my Wi-Fi is horrid, and it just went down completely immediately after they told me. So we've been playing, but I think it's good now.
No problem. Congratulations. So Taylor,
thank you.
As a fellow journalism student, I expect you're used to some public speaking. So take us away with your victory speech.
Yeah, also first, I just want to say thank you so much to all of my friends. They have done countless proofreads of absolutely everything that I have put in front of them. Graphics, text, I mean, just everything. They have listened to me talk about the selection nonstop for probably the past 3 to 4 weeks. I'm also so grateful. All the other candidates that were running, not only in this position, but in all of the other ones, were so incredibly lovely and supportive. And just you would think it would be competitive, and I'm sure it is to a degree, but you don't get that feeling. It's just very welcoming. And I know that this is one of those years where community as we know it has been completely redefined, and distance, you know, if you're learning from India or America, it's just, we're all so separated. And I just feel so incredibly privileged to be in a position to sort of lead us out of that and really build that sense of community up on campus again. I'm just so grateful.
I mean, the feeling must be indescribable. You said grateful there, but what else is running through your head at the moment?
Relief, excitement. This is a job that I wanted because I felt like I could do a really good job at it, and it's something that I, as a student myself, I'd like to think that I want to go into the role as someone that, you know, who could help first year me moving to a new country and going through all those things. So I'm just so excited to get to work and to meet students from all over the world and to make a difference on our campus.
So obviously, I mean, what was your inspiration for running for this incredible position?
Yeah, so as an international student, so I've spent the past 4 years here and they've been absolutely incredible, but there have definitely been things that, as I'm sure other international students have noticed, it's a trial and error process, and there's a lot of things I think as you're going through it that you kind of wish that you had already in place. And nearing the end of my 4th year here, it dawned on me that if I want those things done, I should put myself forward to try and make a difference. Yeah.
So, like as you said, you've moved to Sheffield over 3 years ago now. Well, come up to 4th, and you obviously had time to adjust to living in the UK. But just how vital do you think your policies are going to be to helping international students feel more at home here in Sheffield?
Yeah, so I think the main thing that I really want to focus on is building a sense of community and allowing students to be able to find those social networks that allow them to connect with other students, you know, whether they're international students from other countries, whether they're students from their own home country, or whether they're British students. I really just want to build a platform so that students can take action themselves to make those connections. And that's definitely something that I struggled with in my first year. I'm sure a lot of other international students do. So yeah.
And with the current pandemic climate, thanks to that cursed C word, how much more difficult has it been to campaign and reach out to the international students that you normally see around campus compared to previous years?
It's been really difficult. For starters, you know, a lot of students are in different time zones. And I know especially like when we were campaigning and even, you know, being able to advertise, you're only really targeting students in Sheffield. So you're very limited in that regard. And so you kind of have to rely on whether it's reaching out to societies, whether you know friends that are from other countries and asking them to reach out to their friends. It's definitely been really tricky. And while everybody can vote in this election, obviously getting my points across to international students, I feel like they're going to be affected by it most, since that was really, really important to me. And while it's been difficult, I'd like to think that, you know, all the candidates have done a really good job with it.
And I can't lie, from all of the campaigning videos of all the recurring gags, I genuinely would love to see more of your penguin family. Do they have any names? And please will you keep them in your office for when the SU reopens?
Yes, the penguins will have 3 chairs in the office. Yes, the big penguin is called George. The little penguins are just the little penguins collectively. But yes, they will. I think they'll have office hours. You know, we could have therapy penguins on campus. I think everybody would benefit from that. Yeah.
I know where I'm going then whenever the campus reopens. So from this group of candidates, there was such a variation in terms of experience, age, policy. So what did you try to do to ensure you differentiated yourself to stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, well, so one of the things that I really wanted to do was emphasize the fact that, you know, I've been through a lot of the trial and error of adjusting here over the years, whether that's, you know, converting my driver's license or, you know, going through the national insurance process, getting used to the NHS. So that was a big thing to me, is I wanted to make sure that other students that were going through that felt like they could relate to me because they're struggling through those same things. Making sure that I put forward really, really clear policies so students knew when they were voting what they were voting for. Was another key point of mine, because I wanted to give them things that they felt like they could look at and go, yes, I really would have appreciated that in my first year, or I really would have appreciated that now. So those were, the 2 big ones.
And you mentioned that you would like to introduce a system that supports students on visas who are working. Just how essential do you think this will be in ensuring that international students don't feel burdened, overwhelmed by their work?
Yeah, so I think making sure that we support working international students is really important. I worked throughout, you know, the first 3 years of my undergrad, and so I kind of know what it's like to not only look for a job that's, you know, flexible to your restrictions. I know what it's like to look for grad jobs that fit with what you want, not only but also with those restrictions again. And I think that, you know, as students, we come here not only to get an education and to build a sense of community, but a lot of people come here to look for better opportunities. And I think as a university, we need to make sure that that pathway is as clear as possible and as supported as possible. So I think making sure that those systems are in place to support them not only gives them maybe more financial independence as an undergraduate, but also a sense of, you know, liberty when they get to their third or fourth year, when they're looking for how they're going to make their way in the world. I think it's so important because it can really just feel like there's a wall there, and making sure that we give them all of the tools that we possibly can to make sure that they know that they're supported, the university is behind them, that the SU is rooting for them. I think that's just absolutely vital.
And before we let you go, are there any final words you'd like to say to the international community who voted you in as our new International Communities Officer?
Yeah, just thank you so much. I feel just so privileged to be representative of students from all over the world. We really are a global community here at Sheffield, and I just want them to know that I'm rooting for each and every one of them in every way. And going forward, you know, I will do my best to implement these policies, but also I'm open to new ideas. I want to know the issues they're facing, and I want to be there for them. To help them really achieve everything they can in Sheffield and to help them build those communities and really feel like it's home. So yeah, well, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, Taylor. Are you going to be relaxing or celebrating tonight?
A little bit of both, relaxing / celebrating for sure, yeah.
Well, either way, we hope you have a good one. Thank you for joining us and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
So we're nearly halfway there now, I think, and it's only, what time is it? 19 past 8.
Very specific. Well, I think by this time last year, the shots were probably out of bar 1, and I think I was probably there too as well, to be honest. But
anyway, our next officer is going to be our Activities and Development Officer. Again, this is a role which has been combined to cover both areas this time.
That's right, Benji. They will oversee student development and employability, as well as being the officer who ensures that societies are getting the support they need.
But the question is, who's won out of Kieran, America, and Morgan? What have you got for us, Joel?
Well, what a year it's been, and what a set of elections. The candidates this year have displayed an unparalleled level of understanding of our Students' Union and our student groups, something that will not go unnoticed as we transition back to in-person activity. Watching from afar, I've seen how much effort the candidates for this new role have put into their elections, though I'm disappointed that none of you have worn the same jumper for a month like I did. Well done to all of you. It's really not easy, but you got to the other side. No matter the outcome, I hope you're all proud of what you've achieved. And your next Activities and Development Officer is Morgan MacArthur. Congratulations.
$1,812 threshold. She beat Kieran by 781 votes, which was the second highest margin in the elections. Her policies included expanding societies post-COVID accessibility, reforming the XU funding and finances, tackling society's inclusions issues, and mental health first aid training. So we're shortly going to be joined by Morgan. I think she's on her way. Hello. Hi, Morgan. Hi.
Hello.
So nice seeing there as well. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you, Morgan?
I am shocked beyond belief. Thank you so much. This is absolutely unreal. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Activities and Development Officer. I bet you're over the moon.
I am absolutely over the moon. My friends told me to prepare a speech and I didn't. So I'm really sorry if this is...
Well, we're going to have to get one out of you. So.
Okay. Well, honestly, I am firstly just so thankful to every single person that has voted, every single person that has shared the message about voting for me. In particular, my languages students, you had the highest percentage turnout out of everybody, and we are so grateful for it. Shona as well as languages, so we are incredibly grateful for your support. A massive shout out to the other candidates who have supported me through this. Marta for Welfare and Sustainability has been my absolute rock in all of this, and all of the other candidates who have been such amazing support and friends. I honestly could not have done this without the entire support of the Students' Union and the amazing candidates, and every single thing that our students are putting forward is for change. And I am so excited to be working with amazing and passionate students who will make our Students' Union and our student experience a better place. Massive thanks to my mum and dad and family as well. Every single night I've been calling them, almost crying my eyes out, but nearly. And they've just been a huge support, and thanks to all my family and all of my friends, everybody who has shared the message. I cannot thank you enough. And Sophia for all of the graphic designs. I'm a dinosaur when it comes to social media, and she's managed that all for me, and I am eternally grateful. Thank you so much to every single person who has made their voice heard in this amazing election.
And what was your first reaction when you got the news?
I screamed. I think Shona and I just screamed in unison. We have a candidates lounge where all the candidates are before the results are announced, and I think I had my mic on and I screamed really loudly, but I promised my mum I'm giving her a ring after this, so my composed reaction will be to call all of my family and let my friends know as well. But the first thing was just shock.
She'll be so pleased. So I was watching the debate between you and Kieran as it was happening, and what really stood out to me was how many positions you had in your time at uni. Just how important will that experience be for your time in office?
Sorry, I kind of missed your question. There was a bit
no worries.
of overtalk from
So,
Ted.
I watched the debate between you and Kieran, and you had lots of positions in your time at uni. How important will the experience you had in those positions be for your time in office?
I think the experience that any candidate brings to the role is absolutely integral for ensuring that they do understand students, and students know that we have their back, especially in this really difficult time and coming out of a year that we've all struggled through so much. Having the experience, the lived experience, not just as somebody who's been really involved in the Students' Union, but as a person as well who truly cares about our groups and our skills. It's just so important to know that we're all in this together. And I've hoped that through my experience, I've been able to help people because people have helped me as well through that to become the candidate and now elected officer that I am today.
I'll tell you what, I loved your policy on reforming the SU spaces. I thought that was great. So with especially with all the SU space that's wasted at the moment, how will you make sure that it's sort of optimized in the building?
Completely get your question, and just another massive shout out to my A team. You know who you are. I've been so fortunate to work with mature students and postgraduate students this year, and every single student I interact with will give me amazing ideas on how to reform the SU. I'd love to incorporate a family safe space, especially near coffee revs, to make our Students' Union more inclusive as well. I do think all of our spaces that are being used for committee meetings really need to have a technology revamp. There are still going to be students that struggle to access campus, and by all means we need to make sure that our students, wherever you are in the world, you feel a part of our Students' Union. So reforming the spaces that we physically have for students in Sheffield, as well as the spaces for people who are not currently in Sheffield, and making them feel that this is their home.
So I feel like the last time I counted, you had around 20 endorsements. It's And how essential is it for you to hear from the people that will be representing you, that you'll be representing when you take office?
I think it means the world. I emailed so many societies, and I'm incredibly grateful to every single society that has endorsed me. I'm so happy to see societies and sports clubs getting so stuck in and endorsing all the candidates, especially people who are in departments. Just from your new activities and development officer point of view, thank you so much to every single society that has put their voice out there. I think it's so important because we are here to serve the students of the Students' Union, and we need to make sure that your best interests are taken into account. And the only way we can do that is putting students at the forefront of every decision that is being made, especially with ones that have social, ethical, environmental, and justice implications for our students.
So once the role of activities and development officer it's been combined now, hasn't it?
Yes.
So how do you hope to represent both roles equally in your policy implementation?
Yes, I'm so happy that these roles were put together. with development, a lot of the money management that came from the role was for the student-led budget. And like the vast majority of this has always gone to activities. So firstly, in that sense, I do think the roles are absolutely perfect together. With societies have been my life. All the way through university, the amazing people I've met have all been through societies and committees. So I will continue to represent them by putting your views, everything that you need at the forefront of making change in our Students' Union. With the finance side of things, it's really important to have an activities and development officer who is strong and can stand in meetings and who is willing to say this is what students need. So I'm really excited to work with the finance team. I know that sounds quite nerdy, but I am incredibly excited to work with the finance team on actually reforming the way that our Students' Union processes budget, especially given that there's been a huge loss of revenue this year. I believe it's about 8 million since the SU closed on the 16th of March 2020. So we need to reform how our money is coming into the Students' Union, but also the ways that it's being spent to really benefit our students and put our students first.
And if you want to be remembered for one thing at the end of your tenure, I know this is a long time away, but what do you hope that will be?
I think the main passion project that I have is working on inclusions in societies. I am so keen to start the Step Up Societies campaign, and this will be celebrating and putting at the forefront our liberation students and our international students and any students who want to take on in our Students' Union. So I think leading this campaign I hope it's going to be revolutionary. We can already see so far there are 4 female candidates who have been elected, which is absolutely fantastic. And I truly think by leading this campaign and actively working with the Students' Union on society's training to make sure that our groups who are often marginalised by society feel that our SU is their home will be fantastic. And I think all of the policies that I have incorporate inclusions and integration for every student in our Students' Union. So I'm really excited to get an app going. I know this is something that's come up in the debates quite a lot, but I will absolutely work my best to make sure that this is made for students and especially to improve accessibility. One final thing, to all of the societies listening, I will fix the room bookings and storage. A lot of societies have contacted me about this, and I'm so grateful that people have been in contact because it shows me that I am representing you. So thank you so much for all of your votes, and thank you for all of the support from absolutely everybody.
You've been great to have on, Morgan, and we'll let you go now. How are you going to be celebrating? Are you going to be celebrating with Shona tonight?
Yes, we will be celebrating tonight. I did a Tesco shop earlier and I got an insane amount of crunchy nuts and crisps. So we'll be celebrating that, and I will be calling my family. I think I've got a log of like aunties and grannies to give a ring as well. So thank you so much for having me. I'm incredibly grateful for all of your support, and I wish the best of luck to every other candidate watching this right now. You are all fantastic and you've all come so far, and it's been fantastic to work with you, learn from you, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Sheffield Students Union.
Thank you so much, Morgan. Enjoy.
Bye.
Now it's time for my favourite time of the night, sports.
It's just because you're the head of sport.
What can I say? I know what I like.
Well as Iwan has now said, we're on to sport and wellbeing officer. This role involves encouraging all student participation in sports and communities, as well as now including development and support of activities that improve the well-being and mental health of students.
Here's Matt, our current sports officer, to shed some light on what he's done this year and to announce this year's new officer.
It's been an incredibly tough year for sport, arguably the toughest in its existence. But sport, its clubs and communities, and our wellbeing and sport candidates still have so much to be proud of, despite an institutional existential crisis. Sports clubs have raised over £60,000 for various charities across the year to date. Sports Committee have massively improved its representation of liberation groups, and the university has heard students loud and clear on the importance of sport, giving the go-ahead for a university strategy for sport and physical activity imminently. Both our candidates embody exactly that. Running a campaign, motivating teams, engaging students in the democratic process has been made immensely difficult by the circumstances. Everyone involved in this election this year should be incredibly proud. I'm convinced that next year will be the best year in a long time to be in this role, building back better from the pandemic, re-energising student sport and physical activity opportunities. And then with the addition of student wellbeing agenda to the role, I'm excited to see the future of it. Best of luck to both candidates. Your next Wellbeing and Sports Officer is Charlotte McGinley.
So congratulations to Charlotte McGinley. She won in the first round by beating Joe McLaren. She had a threshold of 1,528 votes and she won by 728. Her policies, as we've probably seen on Crooksmore Road, I know I have, was for the Wednesday afternoon free for student sport activities. She wants to subsidise Norton travel. She wants to update sports facilities to be all-inclusive. She's got to emphasise the importance of mental health. She wants to support graduates by support meetings after they graduate, as well as creating a sustainable varsity. So I believe, Charlotte, you're already in. How do you feel? Oh, a bit emotional. I don't blame you. Congratulations. So you are our new Sports and Wellbeing Officer. Here's your opportunity for your first speech to the people who voted you in. Take your time. It's fine. Safe to stay emotional then.
I'm very overwhelmed. I just, sorry. I just want to thank everyone. I feel like all the officers, I feel like all the candidates can agree it's been like a hard week. Like you can start to doubt yourself, but I'm just really thankful that everyone has voted for me and believed in me. Sorry to cry.
No problem. You're the first of the night, but I don't blame you at all. So, how are you feeling about becoming our new officer? Clearly emotional, but what's the thoughts running through your head right now?
Stop crying.
Take your time. It's no rush. Don't worry about it.
I was so worried whether I had won or not as well. I was like, don't drink before so you don't cry. So I've been drinking like non-alcoholic cider all day. Oh, I'm just really happy.
Well, I mean, after this, you can now go on to the alcoholic stuff.
Yeah.
So I won't keep you long. I'll tell you that now. But, what was your major inspiration behind running for the role then?
I think what I said in my manifesto, growing up, I sometimes felt excluded for sport, and I think I just want to make sure that everyone knows that there is a space for them at uni and at Sheffield to get involved. And with SportsCom this year, we've really tried hard to push through like mental health campaigns and make sure that there's just really trying to break down the stigma around it. I think it's just, especially adding the wellbeing part made me really want to go for the role. I also just, I think I've gained like an appreciation for all sports, like because I'm just really passionate about it. Sorry, I'm not really answering as well as the other ones.
Don't worry about it. Everyone has very different reactions. So how do you hope to follow on from Matt Graves' footsteps, and how do you hope to put your own mark on the role?
Well, I hope to carry on and do like the great work he's done. I think I've said in like my campaign, I've got a lot of ideas which I want to implement, and I think especially with the wellbeing aspects as well, I'd love to especially have a look into like I said earlier about looking into graduates and making sure they're looked after as well, because I think a lot of the time they are like the forgotten students. I can't wait to work alongside other committees. Like I've had a great relationship with, well, talking to people in mental health matters society, and I can't wait to work with them and push through more campaigns.
Yeah, so I can't lie. As a second year who has had varsity rudely snatched away from me last year and cancelled this year, I was very jealous of your highlight video you posted. So just how do you hope to implement your policies to ensure that next year it's the best varsity possible, as well as, of course, getting one over on Hallam?
Yeah, well, I'd love to follow through. I said this, but I think Joe also led a great campaign, and I'd love to follow through and make sure his wish for varsity to be more sustainable is like adhered to. The cup idea, I really want to do that. That everyone loves to have something to keep. Another thing which I think we need to tackle a lot is fast fashion, especially for varsity. But yeah, I just can't wait to get everyone excited again for it. Hopefully that little reel gave some people who haven't had the chance a little insight, because it is just an amazing time of year, and it's something which I always look forward to, and I'm really grateful that in my first, second and third year I got varsity, and I can't pretend like I'm not really privileged for that when I'm living with someone in third year now, so they've had two like snatched away from them. It's yeah, it's hard for all of those students that haven't got to experience it, but I can't wait for to be involved with letting students see and experience varsity.
I mean, it has been brutal, of course, and I remember when I was driving past down to Goodwin, I saw on the house the big McGinley for the Win posts. I've seen all up the road and stuff. So it must feel great to know that so many sports clubs have publicly endorsed you to be their sports and wellbeing officer. How good does that feel?
That's been amazing. Like, I was so appreciative of, especially lacrosse and men's rugby for posting as well, and like all the other clubs and societies for endorsing me and posting and sharing. Like, if it wasn't for them, I just wouldn't be here now, would I? So I'm just really grateful for them. Yeah, and I've had a lot of support with around Sheffield. People put posters up, but yeah, that I was worried about whether I'd win or not, so I have taken the big sign down now, because I was like, if I have to take that down tomorrow and I've lost, I'm just gonna cry. Like, I'm crying now anyway, but like,
Tears of victory, so I can't blame you for that. Before we let you enjoy your alcoholic ciders now, because I'm sure you're desperate for one now. Have you got anything else just to quickly finish up with?
I'm just really thankful for everyone for voting for me. It has really meant a lot, and all the support I've had along the way. I think it's been really hard, and also I know I found it very hard. I know all the other candidates must have found it hard, and also thank you to Joe, because I think it's been a really nice campaign between us, and he's been lovely throughout it as well. Yeah, and I will try my hardest to implement everything that he had on his agenda as well.
Thank you very much. It's been a very enjoyable campaign between the two of you. It's safe to say that. So thank you again for joining us, Charlotte. Enjoy your ciders, but you are now our sports and wellbeing officer. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Phew! I know I'll be sleeping well after this one. So it's been an enjoyable road to the election night, and the site is now in end.
The site is now in end.
Oh,
good one. The end is now in sight, I think you meant to say. But anyway, I think all the candidates and everyone involved in the election deserve a huge round of applause. Unfortunately, it's only me and Benji on the stream, so you have to imagine what that sounds like. Before we find out, oh no, it's you.
No, you can go. You can go.
Before we find out our next SU president is, we have our education officer to reveal. You can have my line instead.
Yeah, that's fine. This is a fiercely contested election, with each candidate presenting themselves as extremely competent potential officers. They'll have to be fair, to ensure that all students' voices about educational and academical issues are heard.
So it's that time of evening. Ellie, let's hear it from you.
Hi everyone. So at last year's results night, my predecessor said that it was a difficult year to run to be education officer, that we'd seen the least amount of teaching delivered by the university than ever before, and we weren't sure if that would be the case moving forward. I don't know if the universe took that as a challenge, but it's definitely been a difficult year. But looking forward, I think next year is going to be such an exciting time to be an education officer. There is a real opportunity here to reshape the higher education landscape and develop more inclusive learning and teaching. Passion and the determination to fight for students is reflected in each of the candidates' manifestos. Each of you has done a fantastic job campaigning, and you should all be really proud of yourselves. Best of luck! And your next education officer is Savannah Hanson.
How are you?
Oh my goodness, I'm over the moon. Thank you so much. Wow. No, that is crazy. Sorry, my mom just called, so my flatmate's gone to speak to her.
Oh, we can only apologise for keeping you on the edge of your seat for so long. So now I'm going to give you the chance to address the people that you'll be representing next year.
Oh my, thank you so much to everyone that voted. I mean, first of all, thank you so much to my campaign team.
How are you?
Oh my goodness, I'm over the moon. Thank you so much. Wow. No, that is crazy. Sorry, my mom just called, so my flatmate's gone to speak. I'm so sorry. Did I just
No, I heard myself a bit there.
I still had YouTube. Okay, sorry, let me cycle.
No worries.
So I just want to say a massive thank you to my campaign team, the Sav United Snapchat group. Thank you so much, especially my media team, my flatmate Brendan for editing everything, Abiba for helping me learn Instagram properly, Alicia, my best friend, my mum, my brother for letting me drag me into TikToks, my dad, thank you, my family, my aunties on Facebook commenting and everything, making me feel like, and then obviously the students, because all of my policies, I tried to make sure that they were student focused. And so for people to directly tell me what they actually want and what they need, and then to be there throughout the whole process, honestly, thank you. Other candidates, I've made so many virtual friends and it's been amazing. Especially, I want to say that other people running as well, your policies were fantastic, and definitely I'll be contacting you to basically put some of them in place in the future. But yeah, societies as well, society endorsements. Thank you so much, everyone, and for voting, of course. Thanks.
That was amazing. So what's running through your head right now? What's running through your head?
Goodness me. I really can't wait to just get started, in the sense that everyone has just kind of felt a bit out of control of their futures. That was the whole point of the campaign, that we're able as students to take back control of our futures, get back on track, and whatever happens, regardless of the C word, of course, and the pandemic, that we end up, saying that at least we had the best experience we could at the University of Sheffield. And of course, that's why I'm doing this. Yeah,
that's amazing. And you mentioned TikTok earlier, and I I love the content that you've been posting. How have you found campaigning on socials and virtually this year? Because obviously usually it wouldn't be as big, but it's almost the be all and end all now. How
Yes,
did you find it?
I definitely agree with Ness, in the sense that I'm kind of an extroverted introvert. Like, I don't really enjoy going up to people, especially outside the SU, and saying, "Yo, please vote for me." It's a bit awkward, and so because I kind of love doing things for fun, like, you know, TikToks anyway, it was actually really good for me to be able to do that, and it to kind of be exclusively digital. So I really managed to tune into my creative side and call me a content creator now. All of that, yeah.
So having seen Ellie's amazing job that she did this year, how do you hope to put your own stamp on it next year?
I think, yeah, Ellie's definitely done an amazing job. And even just speaking to her, there's some things that I learned that she was like responsible for and I had no clue. And it's kind of impressive how she managed to do that. And I think the point would be, I'm going to try and increase student engagement in the sense that hopefully, of course, it's been difficult. So she's done everything she can to communicate with people, but directly, hopefully getting students to see step by step what is going on and how what they've asked for is being done, essentially. And yeah, if we don't get student engagement, then surely you won't find out what students actually want, and if what you've done is actually serving the purpose that you said it would.
And you had a specific policy on innovating opportunities after the impact of COVID and obviously Brexit. And it really spoke to a lot of people, I can tell you that for free. How do you hope to ensure that everyone can receive these opportunities from the policies that you pass?
I think, again, it would be about making sure that you're engaging with as many people as possible and then actually following up on it and, you know, ensuring that, of course, there's like, it's easy to say create opportunities, but making sure that opportunities are inclusive is something. Even the other day, I did a live chat with some students, some friends who like helped me told me about their experiences. And I realized that for like international students, for example, you might be able to put a career event on, but do they even accept the visas, for example? Like there's much more to it than just existing. You have to make sure it's inclusive as well.
Completely. I completely agree with you. And in a time where there's so many people living at home and struggling with digital poverty and exclusion, your policies aim to sort of target these issues. Would you be able to sort of elaborate on some of these policies?
Yeah, I think, wow, yesterday I spoke to one of my friends who was specifically impacted by this. And I was focusing so much on the fact that obviously you can't access your degree if you don't have proper internet connection. But I realized just for welfare reasons, we've taken for granted the fact that when we're having a break, you go and watch Netflix, go and message your friend on social media. That is not possible if you don't have a proper internet connection. And so I think making sure we do everything we can to pressure property owners when it comes to making sure that they fulfill the needs of the students that are living there. And yeah, I realize it's much more than just education experience. It's that too, the welfare aspect of it.
Perfect. And just quickly, because we're almost out of time, what do you have to say to the people that elected you as education officer?
Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your amazing messages even before this, whether it be critique or saying that, you can relate to a policy. And honestly, feel free to message me, contact me, keep me updated, because again, I'm going to do everything that's in your interest solely. And so that I know that you need to tell me what you want.
Congratulations, Savannah. You're our new education officer. Thank you so much for joining us and have an amazing night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you later. Bye. Right, and now we're on the grand finale. The SU president.
I'm not sure if it's the heat in these suits and this room, but I'm sweating to hear these results. I can't lie.
I mean, I would have said the same, but that was a little bit too much information, Noah.
Sorry. Well, I just can't wait to see who our new president will be. Not only will they be leading this amazing group of officers, but they'll also be the figurehead in representing all of the students in this student union.
I mean, it's safe to say it's going to be big, isn't it? Over to our current SU president at the moment, Beth Eyre, to announce our new SU president.
For the last time tonight, next VT, please.
Hello, Beth here. I'm the current SU president. This is so strange that I'm coming to you pre-recorded from my student house, but here we are. I'd like to start off by just saying a massive thank you to everyone who's involved in elections, the elections team, the returning officers, Forge, everybody who's voted, and of course, like all of the amazing candidates. It's such a brave year to put yourself forward, and there's a lot to be done, and I feel like every single candidate has shown that they're completely capable, so I'm really excited to see what the results are. I think results night is a bit symbolic for me because it wasn't this time last year, but on our results night, that was like the last night of normality, and I didn't have a clue about the year to come. It's been a year. I think it's shown that regardless of the manifesto you stand on, what carries through is the values and the morals that you hold and take into this job. We all love students and want students to get the best that they can, and I think that always transcends. I think we've proved that this year. I think SU officers can sometimes feel like quite trivial, like out of touch roles. No one really knows what we do, but this year, for example, we've paid for ourselves as many times as you can fit our salaries into like the £10 million and increasing funds that we've got back directly into students' pockets. I think that just shows the value of what's going on here. We've been a strong SU this year, and I've been especially thankful to have learned and worked with so many strong women, especially. And yeah, I'm going to be sad to pass this role over, but it's been an incredible year. I've learned so much. I'm so proud of the SU officer team, and I think there's still more to come in the 3 months we've got left, and I'm sure whoever takes over will do an absolute stellar job. So I can reveal that Evie will be your next SU president. Congratulations.
So congratulations, Evie. You are our new SU president. So a little bit about Evie. She's the current chair of the Sustainability Committee. She beat Dom, Grace, Christopher, Ashley, Lucas, Alison, and Rosie to become our new SU president. She won with a 6th round of voting after hitting the 1,515 vote threshold. And she beat Rosie, who finished in 2nd place, by 16 points. So it was a very, very close race in the end.
Her policies include the COVID recovery centering students, fair and fully funded education, inclusive and effective mental health services, and embedding anti-racism throughout the SU and the uni, and also the creation of the Climate Justice Fund. She's got plenty more policies, and hopefully we are going to be joined by her now. Hi, Evie, how are you? I think you're muted.
Sorry, hey, sorry. Yeah, so overwhelmed right now. Oh God, wow.
Congratulations. So you are our new president of the SU for 2021-22. Please take centre stage and give us a speech.
I can't lie, I haven't really thought of anything, but I just want to honestly thank everyone who's helped my campaign, Wes especially, who is like put in just as much time as me to helping everything, all my friends that have like been so supportive, everyone who's oh God, I just don't even know what to say, you know. It's really, really overwhelming to know that people want the same thing and everyone, wow. I
mean, I can hear your phone going off in the background, so you clearly, the news has got out pretty quick. So just how does it feel to be voted in as president of the SU officer team? Like, what are your thoughts? Because this is the 2nd time in 3 years that we've had an all-female officer team. So
I'm honestly so excited with the team that we've got. I think it's going to be an incredible year, and we are going to do the students justice totally. Oh, so excited.
So with so many potential candidates, each with unique and interesting manifestos and approaches, how difficult of an election was it for you to stand out as choice for the SU president?
I think you just got to stick with what you're passionate about. You've got to be true to everything you believe in. And that was what my campaign centered around, was what I believe in, what everyone around me, what I heard, what I built on from everyone else. So yeah, I'm so happy. Yeah. Oh wow.
I feel like a lot of this, I feel like we asked this to almost every candidate, but with campaigning, it's just been hugely different this year with doing it all virtual and stuff like that. But I've got to admit, your meme template posts with some of your policies had me laughing so much. So how have you found campaigning this year yourself?
Oh, that's hilarious to hear. It's so like I don't really tend to post on social media that much anyway, so it's totally new type of thing. And it, like, honestly, the help that I had from other people, like, totally made this as well. Like, I can't take credit for the memes was all Wes. So yeah, honestly, it was, yeah, total team effort. Oh wow.
And you had policies on anti-racism, the creation of the Climate Justice Fund, inclusive and effective mental health services, and your policies clearly won over the student body. What would you say are going to be the first policies you implement, and what are going to be the most important policies to you?
I think a lot. That's such a hard question, because I literally, I think the most important has got to be all centered around like anti-racism and climate justice and getting all this stuff forward and actually doing justice to the students. Like, I'm going to work my absolute hardest to get some kind of compensation for people, like, and I hope that my experience will put us in a good position to actually do that, join up with other SUs, and yeah, I'm gonna try and deliver on every promise that I've made in every way I can.
I mean, you've already spoken a bit about the amazing officers that have already been elected tonight. You've got to be so excited to be working with them, haven't you? And like, how much have you spoken to the candidates? Well, the other candidates and the other positions, and do you have any plans if you were to be elected in advance in a way?
Well, obviously, I ran my campaign alongside Ness and Savannah, so we've spoke a lot about things that we might do together. So as soon as those two were going through it, I was like, oh, I was just so excited. At that point, I was like, I don't even care about the results anymore. I'm just so happy for the people that have got it. And yeah, really just, yeah, I think it's just, I can't even really think right now, but yeah, it's so exciting to be working with all these incredible women. I think it's going to be a great year.
And for a final message from you, what do you have to say to the people that voted for Evie?
Thank you so much for believing in me and my policies. I promise that I want people to keep in touch with me. Like, always reach out anytime you've got anything to say, always reach out to me. I've said this from the very beginning. My manifesto was evolving and constantly building on what people wanted to do. So it's going to be like that throughout the year. I'm going to deliver on the things that I've promised and work with the rest of the officer team to do that, and just want people to keep in touch and keep telling me what you want, and we would do that for you.
So yeah, I hope you're going to be setting up for group chat yet with the other officers, or are you just going to have a few drinks to quell the mood a bit?
I think some celebrations are in order, definitely, but I think we need to get on that group chat now. Yeah, really so excited.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Evie. So you are our new SU president.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for joining the call, and enjoy your night.
Cheers, Evie.
Thank you. You too.
See you later.
Bye.
Oh, that's it. We're done.
I mean, yeah. In fact, we said thank you to Evie, but we might as well say thank you for all of us for joining us.
Yeah.
In such tough times, you voted it as an SU, and we've once again come together. So thank you.
So without further ado, I've been Benji Holland.
I've been Ewan James.
And these are your officers for 2021-22.
You have been watching the 2021-22 University of Sheffield Students Union officer elections on Forge TV. That's a mouthful. But anyway, thank you very much and good night.
See you later.